Hello everyone, and welcome to Layers Unseen by Fashion Interrupted for SRD. So we're really excited to be able to share the launch of our project. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Fashion Interrupted, about our project, and then we'll introduce the designers and digital producers involved. And they can talk about their process and what digital fashion means to them. So we'll start with housekeeping stuff. Everyone, I think, is on mute already. Feel free to turn your cameras on or keep them off, whatever you prefer, but it's always nice to see your lovely faces. So there'll be space at the end to ask some questions as well. And we're also going to be premiering our showreel created by Clubhouse Paradiso. So I'm going to give you a link. So I think Emma's going to drop a link into the chat box for the YouTube premiere link. So that's going to premiere at 2:30. So we can nip away to visit that, to see that 2:30, and then come back and ask questions after that. So I want to just thank Scotland Redesigned, Chris Hunt, Caitlin, Ryan, everyone that was involved in SRD for making a wonderful fashion festival. It's been amazing so far. Today's the final day and there's lots on for the rest of the day, so please check it out. Scotland Redesigned have also launched an online retail space, so please check that out and support Scottish design. I just wanted to say thank you to them first of all. So as part of your ticket price, we're giving you a free NFT designed and digitally produced by our lovely Emma Clifton, who you'll see here. So to be able to see this NFT, you need to open up a Near wallet. So that's a crypto wallet. So we'll drop the link in the chat as well on how you can do that. If you need any help, we are here to help. So we've actually got Regina from Mintbase who's joined the call. So she is around to give you help if you want to, if you have any questions on how you need to open that. But it's really, really straightforward, and we're really happy to be launching on Mintbase, who are a carbon neutral blockchain. So a little bit about Fashion Interrupted. I will share my screen and just talk to you.
That's sharing now.
Okay, fab. Fashion Interrupted has come out of about a year-long research project. So it started off through finding a digital pattern cutting software, Clo3D. And so from then on, I delved into the world of digital fashion, so digital pattern cutting, digital couture, NFTs, and blockchain. I started quickly uncovered designers and people using digital fashion in really innovative ways. Emma Clifton, Gillian Martin and I got together and discussed how we could do something with digital fashion. So using these skills that we were learning ourselves through Clo3D, which is a digital pattern cutting software. So we did an open call and got designers involved. So we chose 3 fabulous designers to be involved in our pilot project. Shanna Penman, who's pictured here, this is her work, Zephyr Liddell, and Hayley Mcsporan. So we worked with the 3 designers, and Gillian, Emma and I digitally produced their work from their patterns and worked with them to recreate their looks as a digital twin. We got Madeline from MV Brown involved to do the amazing makeup on our avatars. So that was a really nice kind of part of the project where we really treated it like a real kind of fashion shoot, and wanted to create looks for each avatar to kind of really bring them to life. So we launched the project and we decided to mint them as NFTs. So that's non-fungible tokens, and I can talk a little bit more about those later on. The best way to do that, there's some controversy over NFTs because blockchains can be harmful for the environment because of the amount of energy that they use. So we really wanted to work with sound partners, partnered with the Near protocol and Mintbase because they're carbon neutral, which is amazing. So that's what we're launching today. And I can share our store. And I will give you the link to this as well. I think Emma may have dropped it into the comments. And you can have a little look around. But I will hand over to our designers and digital producers, and they will introduce themselves and talk a little bit about how they got on with the project. So over to you guys.
I'm Shanna Penman. I'm just a recent graduate from Grade School of Art. So this is just at the start of my career, and it's just such an exciting project to start with. As soon as I saw the call out, I know I needed to jump on. I feel like digital fashion is so great because you have no boundaries. So you can go as far as you want with an idea. You can keep experimenting as well as being sustainable. So you're not buying loads of calico, fabric, everything like that to try and work with your ideas. So yeah, I was just really excited about that. I had a wee look into clothes as well and just thought it was like an amazing programme. So yeah, I spoke to Kirsty, I gave some of my prints from my graduate show, and then Emma and Gillian and Kirsty created my amazing Angie suit. So yeah, I'm just really excited to be a part of this. I think digital fashion is just definitely the future. This is what Gillian, Kirsty and Emma has been able to make in such a short space of time, and it just looks incredible, and it's just exciting to see how digital fashion is going to move in like the next next 6 months. You have no idea where it's going to go. And I just think it's a great idea for combating overconsumption as well, because people nowadays are buying clothes to wear on Instagram or TikTok, and there's all these hauls. With digital fashion, they can buy stuff online, they can use AR to wear them and take photos, and it's just a really good idea. It's just fun and exciting. So I'm just really glad that they picked me to be a part of this project, and I'm excited to see what happens in the future.
Hi, I'm Zephyr Liddell. Hi. My design, maybe Kirsty can show you. I think she's zooming around in the exhibition space, which is really nice to see. So my design is this black and white print here. And I submitted this because I actually don't make like fashion collections. I usually make costumes, and Clo3D is a great way to visualize for a customer or for a client, like what you might imagine to make for a costume, which makes it a lot faster and more affordable to kind of get a really good 3D sense of what a costume will look like from all angles. So I'm really interested in using Clo3D. Also, I'm really interested in Clo3D because I work in print. So I'm quite excited about how, kind of as the other designers felt about it, like there's so much possibility, and to work with Emma and Kirsty, who have way more experience with the program, I think the way that I would learn digital software is by being with other people. So it's been really interesting to see how they will work with things, and I was very excited to be part of this project. So thank you very much.
The third designer was Hayley Mcsporan, who's not available to speak to us today, but this is her design, the sort of minimal black A-line dress. And yeah, she's a really great designer based in Glasgow, and her work is all really sustainable and like trans-seasonal. It's not meant to be consumed and then got rid of. It's meant to last forever. Okay, so my part was kind of fairly early on in the process, because I'm like the like in real life I'd be the person that sewed the garment together, but in Clo3D and in like the digital sphere, I put it together in Clo3D. So I was taking the flat pattern pieces scanned by the designers and tracing them, and then building them and putting them together in Clo3D so that there was like a digital replica. So it was that level that I was looking at, and that's something that I've been doing since lockdown 2020, because I worked in theatre and then the theatre was closed, so I thought I should teach myself something that I could do at home, and spent every day learning how to do Clo3D because there wasn't anything else to do. So now I know the basics of it, but my area is that area, kind of the the bit where it feels like it could be used as part of production for still real clothes. But then working with Kirsty and Gillian, I got to see the next bit that you can do, the sort of presentation phase, and the things that you can do where it still just exists digitally. My thought process has always been the end goal was still a real garment, but what we've been doing here is the end goal is a virtual or a digital object. And yeah, the stuff that they've been doing is amazing. I'll hand over to Gillian. Gillian, do you want to speak about your part of the process?
So I first became interested in Clo kind of 2019, but didn't actually learn to make anything with it until, like you said, lockdown. For this project, I was doing the avatars with DAZ 3D, which is a program that I learned to use as well recently. So I was kind of creating avatars and kind of working with like skin tones and sizes and making poses, and then that would get put into Clo for Emma to drape patterns onto, which would then get exported to Blender to kind of play around with the lighting and the scene and stuff like that, and then to render like still images. And the sort of animations were getting done in Clo because we had some issues with animating DAZ avatars in Clo and Blender, but it kind of worked out in the end very well, the way that we did it.
Yeah, there was lots of parts of the project that was a real experiment. We didn't really know how it would turn out. I think when we first kind of got together, the three of us, we thought we would just do something in digital fashion and then just see what we could create. So working with designers and collaborating. So a lot of it was a surprise throughout the process. We were constantly surprised by what we were producing and how different programs work together. So it was all a real experiment, which is amazing, and lots of amazing things have come out of the experimentation. So yeah, as part of the makeup for the avatars, we created amazing filters. So maybe Madeline can talk a little bit about that.
Sure. Hi everyone, I'm Madeline. I'm a makeup artist, and this is my first sort of introduction into digital makeup and digital fashion. For me, the process was completely different to what I normally do. So I was basically sent like the avatar skins, which were completely 2D and flat. And then I worked over the top of those in Procreate, just drawing and doodling around, kind of basing ideas and what I got from the designer's work. And then these were brought to life as they were sort of put straight onto the avatars by that Gillian had made. Yeah, it kind of blew my mind a bit in what could be possible for the future of digital makeup and pushing the boundaries of beauty and fashion. And also for me, it was, it could become a tool that I could use, when planning ideas for things that I might do in real life also. And I thought it was really fun to do the filters, because obviously they're so popular right now anyway. And I'm kind of thinking that, how I used to get those sort of paper dolls that people used to sort of dress up and things. We're all eventually going to have our own avatars or something else in kind of digital form. So it's this idea that you can try on different looks every day, and it's just really accessible and also playful and fun. So yeah, thanks for having me on board.
And I think that was something that's really kind of excited us as well. Like it's a digital project and we're all on our screens so much, but merging it with real life is something that really kind of excites me. So the filters are a way of kind of merging it, and also AR. So Gillian's husband Liam worked really closely with us to create AR filters of the garments. So we've got QR codes that you can click and look at the AR and bring the garments into your own home. So we'll drop a link in the comments there at some point as well. Emma's dropped in her Instagram, so you can have a little look, maybe share and show you a little bit. So this is some of our filters in action. So this is people bringing it into their own spaces. So I think that's just like a kind of exciting way of using digital fashion. So we're going to share the video with you very, very soon. So we'll drop I think the YouTube link is in the comments. So we'll make sure that we're getting to the waiting room for that. So that was made by Clubhouse Paradiso. So we worked closely with them to create a show reel, and it was to show our process as well as the final garments. So we could show really what was involved, because part of this is to really elevate the digital producers and show the craft that's involved in it. It took many, many hours, so lots and lots of volunteering, working late into the night to get this to the stage that it's at just now. So I'm really, really grateful for the team for doing that. And so, yeah, we really see digital fashion as a future craft. Showing the process in the video is definitely part of that, to elevate that.
Also, I just wanted to say, because Hayley isn't here, but Hayley's dress is the only one, I think, of the collection that's also available exactly as it is in real life too. So that's quite an interesting thing. Whereas my top and trousers doesn't really exist.
So digital fashion can be used in a number of different ways, and it can have different kind of usabilities. At this stage, we're really, really early, and we're still, the usability isn't there yet. Like you can't wear the digital fashion pieces right now, but we're really working towards and designing towards a future where you can potentially dress an avatar in the metaverse and wear these garments. So you're basically building a wardrobe for the future. So there's different ways that NFTs can work. It can be like phygital, so you can create a digital garment that you can sell as an NFT that can be bought and exchanged for a physical item. So there's artists doing that the world over right now. Damien Hirst was a recent one who's doing that and has released, I think it was like 1,000 paintings, and he's putting it up to the buyers to decide whether they want to keep that as an NFT or as a physical item. And he's really kind of experimenting with the value people put in digital and physical. So that is definitely a way that we're kind of starting to explore that as well, how we can sell digital fashion items and have them exchanged as physical pieces. One of the great things about digital fashion doing it this way as well is that it has a smart contract attached to it. So we're really talking about fashion and finance. So when creating a digital item, no matter the number of collaborators involved, you can attach their royalties to the item. So when it's sold, all the creators can be paid fairly. The NFT market as well is set up for secondary sales. So these items can be sold on after a period of time. You can hold on to them, like this gold dress. So this is basically the gold dress that you will all receive today. So we've put it as a nominal fee, so it's like pennies, but we'll give you some near to be able to buy this, and this will be in your wallet. So you could keep that forever as a mark of the Layers Unseen and Scotland Redesigned, or you can choose to sell it, and the creators will still get some payback from that.
Kirsty, I just wondered if there was time maybe to tell us a little bit more about how you got into this project, or if there was anything else you wanted to add after like hearing our introductions.
Yeah, so it started with Clo 3D and how exciting that could be. Digitally pattern cutting, you can pattern cut using any sized avatar, so I felt like it was really, really inclusive. It really sped up the pattern cutting process, because I think that's what, like, pattern cutting can be slow, and so I would get frustrated and wanted to see things much quicker. So this is a way of really speeding that process up, and also you save space, you save pattern paper, you save toiling. So that's kind of really that's what got me into it. And then I started to see designers like Hanifa, who was using digital as a way to present her work when she couldn't travel due to pandemic, lockdowns, etc. People like The Fabricant, who are a digital only fashion house. Their tagline is "They waste nothing but data." So I started to kind of really see how people were using it in really exciting and innovative ways. I took part in Crypto Fashion Week in February 2021, which was a digital fashion festival, and it was hosted throughout the world. There was speakers from all over the world in different time zones. So that's a really interesting thing about this space as well. People are spread out all over the world, and it's a real community feel. So Crypto Fashion Week introduced me to a number of different people doing exciting things in the space. So that's kind of how I really came to see what digital fashion could really be. There's marketplaces like the Dematerialized, who have started to collaborate with designers to create digital pieces and sell them on their platform. So it really is a way of disrupting the current fashion system and big fashion businesses. This is accessible now to anyone, so anyone can create a digital fashion piece and put it up and have the potential to be on a platform on a par with Karl Lagerfeld, who just released some NFTs, with Dolce & Gabbana, who released NFTs. So I think it's a really exciting space, and it's a very kind of fertile space. Yes, I think it's very new, and it's something that I think people should be looking at and just keeping an eye on, really, and just see where it could go. But I will direct you now over to the YouTube channel, and then please come back and ask questions if you have any questions. It'd be amazing to hear. So that was a premiere for the designers and the creative producers as well. So I'd love to hear what you thought.
Yeah, that was really great. It's so good to see it. Like, especially just see it as like a proper like runway. It's great. Love it.
It's interesting to see how much of this has been like accelerated because of that year where nobody could do anything. It's like there has been quite a sort of big shift to people having fully digital presentations like what that is. and it being moving away from like a traditional catwalk where maybe you go somewhere and watch people walk down the runway. Like that feels quite, it was already changing in that people were doing like interesting short films to present their collections and like do something a bit different. And I think there's still some like beauty in like a spectacle of like a big show, but then there's so much that you can do with this virtual thing, and more people can access it like this.
Yeah, honestly, it's incredible to see. It's also lovely to see the work that goes into it, because it can be quite oblique. If you've never heard of Clo 3D, it's really interesting to see like, oh, you can just like pull the fabric over the shoulder of the avatar, and it's lovely to see how much work you guys have put in. And I've actually worked with Emma before as a costume maker, and I know how amazingly skilled you are with material and in real life, and to see how well you're in fact everybody here actually we've kind of worked together in various ways, and Madeline, also your makeup skills in this are incredible, and it's really fun to see how everybody's stuff comes over so well in film, and it's only like the start of, it's like a pilot project or the start of a journey, and it's very exciting. So well done, everybody.
Yeah, just for me, I'm Ryan, I'm not Chris. I'm using his Zoom login because he's got Zoom Pro and I don't. But I just wanted to say, like, that was incredible. I've been to quite a few online events over the past 18 months, and just the work that's been put into this is absolutely amazing. So well done to everyone that was involved.
I wanted to say something about the AR as well. The AR is amazing. Can we explain to people how the easiest way to access that? Because it's really fun. And also what that does with the AR, and what I was finding quite difficult during lockdown when everything was in the screen, is you can do something digital, but you have to, it encourages you to physically move around, because you're dealing with a 3D thing, but you're viewing it through a 2D lens. But it does feel a bit different than being sat in front of this, and the AR stuff turned out incredible. It was really impressive how it turned out.
Yeah. Well, we've got QR codes, which is the easiest way for you to
You can upload those files into the chat.
That would be amazing. I'm trying to find it here just now, but if you have it,
I've got them. I can do that.
That would be amazing. So yeah, so it's just a QR code. So you just fire your camera at the QR code, and you'll be directed to download an app, and you just follow the instructions. And it's really easy, and it's just like a nice kind of surprise.
That sounds fantastic. What we'll do is we have a good mailing list. So if you send me those details, I'll send it out to our database.
Amazing.
You can go in and give it a go.
Yay, that would be fab. Thanks so much. So I'm just seeing a question from Ailish. So advice do you have for someone who wants to get started in creating digital fashion using Clo 3D, DAZ 3D, and other programs? So yeah, Clo 3D, it's a huge learning curve, but I think just taking your time and just working your way through them. There's so much help on YouTube. There's so many videos and people helping each other. This digital fashion community is amazing in that people want to help each other constantly. So if you are stuck with anything that you need help with, you just Google it and something will come up. There's lots of Discords out there. So we started a Discord for Fashion Interrupted that has been for the project, but we're opening that up. So anyone can kind of join in, and it can just be a place for us to share tutorials that we find useful, any tips, and just bringing people together who are interested in digital fashion. So it's just about advice is to basically find your community, which is very easy to find, and then get started. There's a free trial on Clo 3D, so you can download that for a month. But yeah, there's loads and loads of free resources available. So that's the best place to start, I think. And once you know one of the programs, it's easier to pick up the other ones. So yeah, just getting started.
I also wanted to add on to this, it's like, I found it so overwhelming to try and learn a new computer program. And the best advice I could say is like, try and recreate something simple that you've made in real life as like you're starting out. Like just practically, that was way easier than like trying to do something crazy and upside down that defies gravity. Those things come by accident, like eventually, but that was my favorite way to start with Clo 3D. It made it much easier.
Yeah, definitely. I want to check if anybody had tried to start a wallet, a near wallet, so that you can receive your amazing gold NFT. Let us know, because it should be, it's really kind of simple to do that. And if anybody needs any help, we could just shout out and we can help you out on that. You should just be able to sign in. The thing that you need to remember when you're signing into this wallet is you'll be given a seed phrase, which is 12 words, and that is your password. And that's the kind of exciting thing about blockchain and this space. It's all decentralized, but it means that that seed phrase is your key to that wallet, and there's no kind of forgetting your password and resetting. You have to remember that key, so you need to write that down, those words down. So yeah, let us know, because we want to send you those that gold dress. So to access the wallet, you would just click on this link. So I've posted that in the comment again. And I think Emma's just posted one of her posters with the QR code. So please feel free to try that too. I mean, I can pop it up here. I could share my screen and show you. So anyone can put their phone up against that QR code, and you should get a link to something else.
Kirsty, I was wondering, after this event is over, where can we go to find out more information about Fashion Interrupted, or where can we put all these links afterwards?
So we will, I will post the link to the Discord in here, and our website.
And you have also your Instagram is probably a really good place to find out more about these QR codes if you want to access them again. Am I right?
Yes, absolutely.
Also, if you share the details with us, we'll put it on SRD Instagram as well.
Amazing. Asked to enter an account ID for the near wallet. So I think that's, you just choose your name. So that's going to be your name.near, whatever you choose it to be called. And that'll be your account name.
It looks like that, but you don't. Yeah.
How did you get it to work, Emma? Because you guys were, you felt like came up against that before, didn't you?
I think Jackie, I think that the problem that I had was it looked like there was 2 sections of things you had to do in each page, but really you only have to click on one of them. So there was something like you chose something from up there, like come up with the email, do it through email, and then beneath that it looked like there was another section, but you don't have to do something in both sections, you just do it in one.
Oh, okay. So I'm
like,
getting the option for the one-time passcode via email or phone. Yeah. But then it also seems to want me to select one of the initial deposits so that I can move on.
I think you can just ignore that and press continue.
Okay, I'll give that a go.
I think I think that worked for me. I remember the first time I tried it, I kept butting up against problems. And the second time it took like a minute to do it. And it was like, oh, I've just misunderstood the website slightly.
So we don't need to purchase near.
No, and we're actually going to transfer you a little bit of near so that you can purchase the free NFT. We've had to put it for a tiny amount just so that it will show up in your wallet, but we'll send you some near. So if you want to pop your name, the name of your account, into the comment section as well, that would be amazing, and we can send you some near.
Okay.
Does anybody have any questions about what we've shown you today, or any questions about any part of the process that we've gone through?
I don't have a question, but I've got a model in my living room, which is just amazing.
Oh, great. It's fun, isn't it?
Really cool. Yeah, I'm so impressed. Well done, guys. This is incredible. I'm so happy.
It's
quite amazing to have them come into your space. It is really interesting to come out of the flat and be able to go around a garment. Like, even if this was done as a video, just like a filmed video, you wouldn't have that ability to go around something. And like fashion does exist in the 3D. Fashion images are 2D, but fashion, like garments are 3D garments.
It's incredible. I'm not sure if you can see this, but there's the model that I have in my living room.
Oh my God, there's Clara wearing Zephyr's print. Great, that's so cool. It's really nice, actually. You can see the makeup really well. Like you can go really close up to her face and like see the detail of the beautiful makeup. I love the makeup on the one that's on screen right now on Haley's design. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I think that Madeline did an amazing job, and also the fact that when you get the skin of the avatar, it's quite a frightening thing to see. It's as if somebody's taken the skin of a person and laid it out flat, and then Madeline did her work on top of that. Madeline, are you still? I can't see you in the top line, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah. So could you maybe tell us? I know that it's difficult as well, because like when you talk about it, like when somebody would have told me before, like you're going to do makeup on a 3D thing, it's like what even is that, and how does that work?
Yeah.
But like we gave you the skins, right? Like as if we'd unpeeled a person.
Yeah, well, it's quite frightening because it was you that initially contacted me, and you actually sent me a picture of myself, like flattened out as a skinned avatar, as it were. Yeah, I mean, like I was saying earlier, it's a completely different way of working, and I probably was the only one that wasn't working in 3D in a weird way. It was very 2D for me, which is unusual because usually I'm obviously working on someone's face, and I'm working with texture in a different way as well, because obviously this is all just digital. But yeah, no, it was really interesting.
And you've gone further than just on their faces as well, because you get every part of the body, you get the skin for that. So your makeup is like spread out across their arms and their legs.
Yeah, for Haley's one, I did some of the body painting, I guess, just because she had, it's a more kind of simple garment, I guess. I kind of wanted to sort of push that a bit, and yeah, just highlight the kind of more futuristic aspects perhaps as well.
Yeah. So this is what you will receive in your wallet. So once we kind of set you up with that, so I'll just continue adding a little bit of near. I can see the chat.
And what is the process with the designer garments, the designer's NFTs?
They're available. So they're now going to be available for the next 4 weeks. So we wanted to do it up to the 15th of December, which is an exciting date, because as part of my research and delving into digital fashion, I've been supported by Creative Scotland's Stacey Share Fund to do some research. So that's their sharing event. So I'm going to be sharing the results of the research that I've been doing over the course of the last few months. And so we will be finishing our sale of these digital fashion NFTs on that day. So we've got 9 for purchase right now. So they're for sale just now. And then we're holding 1 back for an auction on the 15th of December. And that's just to make sure if they sell out, there's still one opportunity to get them then. So we wanted just to keep it short, and because it's an experiment. So I think, and this is definitely feels like the start of something. So we'll see how this goes, and then beyond that, we'll be doing future collaborations and just watch this space, I think.
I've added the this shop, the Fashion Interrupted shop, into the chat. So that's where you go to purchase it once you've had near transferred to your account. I'm very new to cryptocurrency.
Hey guys, how do we contact you, Kirsty, if we need to chat about this process after this, just in case somebody can't get hold of the dress or wants to buy one of the items but is facing difficulty?
I will pop my email address, studio@fashioninterrupted.com. So I've popped that into the chat. So please get in touch if there's anything, if you want to know anything. So I don't know if this is everybody's first digital fashion item, or if anyone has any experience of digital fashion before this.
No, this will be the very first one. So
yeah.
I'm impressed. Thank you very much.
Ryan, have you managed to get your gold digital fashion piece yet?
No, I haven't even started it, to be honest. I haven't even started looking at it, to be honest, but I will after this.
Yes, that's fine.
Is there a way that we can wear our gold dresses digitally?
So we're working, so I'm going to be working on some filters. So right now, the capability just now is you can see it in your wallet and you'll have an AR QR code so that you can see the item in your homes. And then I'm also going to be working on filters that you can use on Snapchat where you can try it on. So that's like a kind of fun kind of thing in the meantime. But yeah, it's like this space is ever evolving. And I think the hope is that, yes, we will be able to wear these items going forward when technology allows, basically.
Very exciting.
And these will be vintage as well when the time comes. These are one of the first, especially in Scotland. So it'll be good to have this, like this gold dress in your wallet years down the line. Like, this is one of the first ones. We've got it.
That's so interesting to think about it in that way. I remember Kirsty spoke to me about like vintage NFTs and I was like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, this is the first. This is exciting. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're talking, Madeline, before about being able to wear it yourself, there's people that are working on that kind of thing at the moment in Glasgow that we can try and speak to with Connect. So maybe it's like the next step that we can do.
Right. Desperate to get your gold dress, you know. So
yeah, I think it's difficult because there's such amazing stuff that exists already that can recognize a face. Like the filter things for your makeup worked so successfully, but I think maybe because a body, I don't know, it's harder to recognize on a phone, or you have to, I don't know, it just seems like a little bit more challenging.
This is also really good for opening up connections to like the gaming industry. So the fashion industry and video games have never really had a connection whatsoever. And then now, because of these NFTs and digital fashion, it's really exciting to see that people could wear this in a game and as an avatar. The amount of times, like the way gaming is going now, is all very online and buying different things inside a game. So it's really exciting to see that you can have this NFT. If you're playing a game, it could get brought into, you've got it to wear. So it's really exciting that it's opened up new opportunities and bridges the gap between two industries that wasn't necessarily ever going to work. And so it's exciting to see what it could do in the gaming industry as well.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And I think that was like an interesting way of someone explained NFTs really well to me. And it was about gaming, and people spend so many hours on games, so many hours of their lives, and they spend so much money on skins and different assets and different aspects that you can buy for yourself in one of these games. And so if those items were NFTs, it would mean that you could take those items with you when you left the game. Whereas right now, when you've spent all that money on the game, and when you leave, you've just lost it all.
Yes.
I thought that's really interesting when it comes to when you kind of put the NFT mindset onto that, and it was the fact that people have been spending so much time and like building up their kind of really like their a personality, or like it's like a way of expressing themselves like online and in these games, and that's why you need fashion design to be brought into that. So there's definitely a real market and a real space for fashion design and gaming to come together.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's really, really cool. Especially because, like you said, you're building your own virtual wardrobe. So no matter if you're playing a game or you've got your avatar or what's going on, that's your wardrobe you've got for life.
Yeah, exactly.
Jamie asked, was there anything that was particularly challenging during the project? And I don't know if maybe Kirsty and Gillian, I know that towards the end there was quite a lot of things to do just with like animation and those parts of it that seemed like they were quite hard.
Yes, definitely.
I think one of the most difficult parts was like applying the textures to things, like with the patterns to it and stuff, especially with the AR, getting the lighting right, things like that, and making the animations, like you say, they're just, when you're using animations from DAS, with DAS avatars, you can't use the actual animations in Clo, which is actually kind of annoying. But you can use it in Blender, but that was just taking a long time to render and stuff, and we just decided to like change for the animations, change to Clo avatars to use Clo animations.
Yeah, so there's definitely quick changes, and like, yeah, so we just kind of pivot at certain points when we felt things are not quite working this way, we need to do something completely different. So yeah, there was lots and lots of hours spent trying to work out the best method and the best ways to do things. But it was amazing. I think it was so amazing what we created from like a few weeks ago. We had these ideas of what we wanted to create, and none of us really knew how to do it. And so we just literally just taught ourselves, and it was quite amazing what we managed to do in that short space of time. So yeah, the learning curve was absolutely massive. So I don't know what we're going to do next. If we can do that in 3 months, who knows?
I can't wait to see what you're going to do next. I'm excited. Are you going
to... Eilish or Eilish, I was asking, which render engine did you use? I've been looking at Unreal Engine and wondered if you've experimented with that.
I haven't used Unreal Engine yet, but I've been watching lots of tutorials and stuff with people using it. We used Clo 3D and Blender to render out, but I think Unreal would be, yeah, I think that's amazing and a really powerful program. Have you got any experience with that, Gillian?
I've just looked at it. I haven't actually used it either, but yeah, that's really good for games as well. So
yeah, so maybe it's I think probably a more powerful, faster rendering times potentially, because Clo is slow, but I think it's because the garments are so detailed, and they have literally every stitch in them, so you can digitally sew. So I think that might be why, because they've got so many. So I don't want to keep you here too much longer, but I want to make sure everyone's managed to get their gold dress. Is there anyone who's not managed to get one? I know, Ryan, you're going to do that, and that's your homework.
Yes, that's going to be my homework. I'm texting Chris and Instagramming about this event at the moment, so I'm kind of busy, but I will. It looks fantastic.
So Leslie, Deborah, you've both got it. I can help you afterwards, Jackie, if you want. So yeah, so please reach out to me. You've got my email address now. It was in the chat. So studio@fashioninterrupted.com. Visit the website, check out the Instagram, and definitely try out the QR code if you haven't already. But thank you so much for joining. Thank you, SRD, for hosting us and making this possible, and the amazing collaborators who've been on the team. Can't thank you enough. Yeah, so thank you.